Pick that shit up. This is a battle cry that can be heard in any gym as patrons summon the strength to attempt at a PR. The heaviest weight I ever had to hoist wasn't on a barbell. It was a phone call to tell my mother-in-law her only daughter had passed. I then had to pick that shit up and dial my father-in-law to tell him his little girl had died. What came next was rep after rep as I converted my beloved into bereaved. My soul reached its anaerobic threshold. Although the breath of life had left her body, I couldn't breathe. I had to pick that shit up. No warm-up, no agile 8, no mobility drill. I had to grip it and rip it and pray to God for a good pull. No Kenzio tape, no sleeves, no straps, hell, no suit. No shoes, not even some chalk to help the grip seize. I put bare callus to sharp knurling. If I slipped, I'd bleed. I put that shit on my back. Maybe here I could make it move. Maybe here some extra power could be found. That weight tried to compress my vertebra and have me crushed through the ground. I couldn't pick that shit up. I had to stand while immeasurable weight's singular focus was to keep me down. I couldn't pick that shit up as hours became days, weeks, a funeral, then time lost all definition. I was trapped under a bar in a compromised position, no spotters coming to my rescue. They all had their own reps to wrestle with. I had to pick that shit up. At first, I failed, trying to convert bone, muscle, and tendons into force. There was no, "Aw, you failed to lift. Live to lift another day." I either picked this shit up or I died today. For a moment, I contemplated consigning to defeat, letting the weight just fall and my spirit be spirited away. I'd love to say I was on some gangster shit and looked the god of death in the eye, stating firmly, not today. But that shit ain't happened. The appeal of not having to continue to attempt to pick this shit up was just a breath away, and all I had to do was let go. I looked my son's 4-year-old face, questioning what would my last words be. What could I leave behind? What could I say? Son, your mommy passed away, but your daddy couldn't find the strength to press on. Fuck training abs. I couldn't engage my core with the mentation of leaving that little boy bearing the weight of losing his mother, coupled with the chains of his father's failure to figure out how to find the fortitude to pick that shit up. No pre-workout, no creatine, no artificial sweeteners, no whey protein isolate, just a belly full of determination. Slowly, I stacked my structures. I breathed. I braced. I used every Newton meter of torque I could create. I grimaced my face. I could taste blood. That weight began to move. I pressed through. I had to grind. The sweat poured. Muscles shook. Every millimeter of my range of motion felt like a mile, and I had many more to go. There was no sympathy for my sympathetic nervous system. Muscle imbalances had no time for symmetry. I was in the midst of picking that shit up. The only weapon formed against me that could prosper was me, and I wasn't about to give up on me, not with my little boy watching. I wasn't doing this shit to meet chicks or for an idealized aesthetic, for my health, or even to talk shit. I eliminated the option of do not. The only thing left was do. There was no try, so it was either pick this shit up or die. As the weights approached a full lift, my consciousness started to shift. Maybe I could pick this shit up. I thought, just get it to lockout, make sure it's legit, prove to myself that I own that lift. With everything I had left, I left empty. There was no more. White lights. Not for the flex, I had nothing left. I let the weight fall to the floor. For the first time in a long time, a smile broke through the blood, the sweat, and the tears. Air filled my lungs, but I exhaled what felt like flames. Lifter ready? Confusion washed over my face. I thought this was a 1-rep max. The weights were re-racked. I had to pick that shit up for AMRAP. Here's what I learned. That weight don't get no lighter. You simply get stronger. Life's gonna throw a weight at you that'll make you question if you're strong enough. Pick that shit up.